I want my kids to have a boring testimony. I want them to. Every time it's still a miracle from God. You were spiritually dead and God said live, and you lived. It never gets boring. It's always a miracle. So this doctrine here, we're talking about election here, it properly understood, it doesn't produce pride. It produces assurance. That's Paul's entire point for why it's in Romans 8. This is to be assurance. His love for you, Christian, has been since before the world began. That's what Paul says, before the foundation of the world. So your failure this week doesn't change that love. Your sin you battled and lost to this week for the 100th time doesn't change the love of God on your life. So take heart. God's love came before your accomplishment, and it will outlast every one of your failures. That's why it's here in Romans 8. God's love for you, the length, we read it in our call to worship, the length of God's love. Wrap your mind around it. Like things that we know that began, like our life or the lives of our children or even creation itself. And before all of those things began, God had set his love on you. He loved you before you were born. He loved you before this country existed. He loved you before the dinosaurs roamed the earth. He loved you before the constellations were in place. He loved you before he said, let there be light. He has loved you. It's an unbroken love. It's a link that is immeasurable. It's a love that's unrivaled. And if he has loved you like this, he will not stop loving you in your weakest moments. He will not stop loving you when you succumb to the sin you've committed before. He does not tire of you. He does not grow agitated and aggravated with you. He will not stop loving you when you run and hide in rebellion or in shame or embarrassment. He will not forsake you when you're 90 and your mind is gone and you begin to say and think things that you never believed. His love began before the earth, and his love will see you home, all the way home. And that's why these verses are in the Bible. This is the unbreakable